Hello, my name is Nick, and today we'll be walking through the Sched check-in tool. The check-in tool is an excellent resource in your event organizing toolkit. You can keep track of attendance per session for things like company trainings, teacher certifications, and more, but keep in mind the tool is not for overall event registration. You can easily distribute the check-in workload across your team by adding check-in managers, and it's accessible from most modern devices, so there's no need to rent equipment. The Sched Count app is downloadable for free on the iOS App Store, and it requires iOS 10.3 or later. It's accessible on Android or laptops via a URL that I will show you later, but it's yourevent.sched.com/check-in. Using the check-in tool, you're able to manually mark attendees as present, or in the iOS app, you can scan the Eventbrite ticket QR code. To clarify, you can only scan Eventbrite ticket QR codes. The app is not compatible with any other QR codes or barcodes. Now let's walk through the process of adding check-in managers, and later we'll take a brief tour of the apps. There are two main ways you can designate your people as check-in managers. First, we'll walk through adding global managers. This means they'll be able to see the attendance list and check-in attendees for every session in your event. In the schedule section of your control panel, you'll see that there's a tab named check-in. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Initially, you won't have any users listed here, so you're presented with some resources for your reference throughout the process if needed. Similar to other sections and roles of your event, you'll see up here on the right there is a plus sign. If we select that, we're prompted to add the name and email of person that we'd like to designate as the check-in manager. And done. That person can now use their existing Sched credentials to log into the check-in app and help track attendance. Alternatively, you can choose to add users as check-in managers for single or specific sessions if you're using the session spreadsheet that's downloaded here. In your session spreadsheet, there is a column for check-in manager where you can add the person's email address so they're able to track attendance. If you have more questions about adding sessions via the spreadsheet, I recommend viewing our other video, Adding Sessions, found on our support page. Now that we've added our check-in managers, let's take a look at what they will see and how they will use the app. Check-in managers will receive an email confirmation with instructions to sign in and a link to the check-in app. Let's look first at the iOS app. Once they have access to the tool, the user will be prompted to log in. If they're assisting you at multiple events, or they have robust social/professional lives, they may have multiple events listed. Select the appropriate event, and you're presented with the dates involved. From here, they can select the appropriate venue and session that they will be managing. You'll see a list of the currently registered attendees. I can quickly search the name at the top and mark people present with the switches on the right. Or if an attendee arrives that's not already on the list, you can add them as a walk-up here. You can type in their name, information, or even add an anonymous attendee if the person's information isn't important. If you're using the Eventbrite integration, you can switch to the scan screen to scan QR ticket codes in the upper right-hand corner. Now let's take a look at the Android app. The Android app isn't downloadable, but can be accessed from your event URL/check-in. We recommend your check-in managers using Android bookmark the link. After logging in using their Sched credentials, they'll be presented with the list of sessions. Along the left side, you can open the menu to hide finished sessions, change how to sort names, and filter by venue. After selecting a session, check attendees in by checking off their names. In the upper right-hand corner, add an attendee that isn't already on the list. It's worth mentioning that this tool can also be accessed from laptops and desktops via the same link. Lastly, let's look at how you can view your check-in data after your event is complete. Your check-in data is in your event's control panel, found by navigating to the Exports menu. You can access the Exports menu by selecting the cloud icon in Speakers, Sponsors, Schedule, or Attendees. Once there, the two exports that I'll highlight are attendance counts and attendee schedules. Attendance counts and attendee schedules. The attendance counts will give you a bird's eye view of attendance for each session. The attendee schedule CSV is much more in depth and will give you the time each attendee was checked into each of their sessions. Last but not least, there are some additional export options in our API if you have needs beyond what is offered. I hope this video was helpful in getting you started understanding the check-in tool. We have a great guide on our site if you need a visual reference while you're getting things set up. And while you're here, feel free to check in on some of our other Getting Started videos. If there's an additional topic that you'd like us to cover or have questions and concerns, feel free to reach out to us at support@sched.com.